Hey, welcome back to another episode of Veach Season. We are your guest hosts, Rocky Magaña and Kramer Sansone. We are currently filling in for Brett Veach today because he can't be here because, God knows he's out there just hunting the waiver wire for every single possible left tackle, right tackle, cornerback, whatever the Chiefs have to do to get themselves back on track and over the hump after last night's loss to the Buffalo Bills, where if you are on social media and you've seen anything today, it's basically the Chiefs suck. The sky is falling. They'll never win another game again. Andy Reid is hiding government documents in his bathroom.
That's new.
Patrick Mahomes, basically is a drug trafficker. Travis Kelce is a cuck, and everything that you could possibly imagine is on the internet right now talking shit about the Kansas City Chiefs. Like they just suddenly, after losing one regular season game to an 8-2 team on the road, are just complete dog shit now, which I find personally hilarious. But the Chiefs aren't taking it laying down. They've already made some moves today that we'll talk about in this episode to get better and to improve their team. But in the great words of was it Mace? Can't nobody take my pride. Can't nobody hold me down. Oh no. I got to keep on moving. Because broken glass everywhere. If it ain't about the money. I think the next line is Puffy just don't care. But we're not talking about Puffy. Because we know what Puffy cares about. And it's not in alignment. Like, listen, we try not to get too political.
Well, here's the thing.
With
all this political stuff the Chiefs are around right now, it makes sense why we want to do a Puff Daddy song right now.
Yeah, listen, we try not to get too political on this podcast, but listen, tar and feather me if you want to and hang me up by my ankles for my political beliefs, but we're taking a firm stance on this podcast that we are anti Puff Daddy and the things that he's accused of.
Yeah, we're definitely anti the P. Diddler. No, thank you.
Yeah, we're definitely anti P. Diddler. So sue us if that's a little too conservative for you guys out there that or too liberal. Either way you feel, we are we're anti P. Diddler and we're anti the exploitation of human beings.
Yeah, no kidding shit.
yeah, no kidding shit. Also, no kidding shit. Don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure that this week was Danny DeVito's 80th birthday.
It was.
Yeah, the great immortal Frank from our favorite TV show, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and also of the classic 80s movies like Twins and Throw Mama from the Train.
Or go even earlier with the One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, which I think was like in the early 70s.
Great film. Even better book. If you haven't read, go.
I agree.
By Ken Kesey. Oh my God, that movie will blow your GD mind out of the back of your head in the best way possible, kids. Listen, read more books, and if you're going to read a book, read One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest because that'll enlighten you and open your mind up to a better way of thinking.
Yep. Concur.
But that being said, what's your favorite Frank moment from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia to celebrate Danny DeVito's birthday? What's your favorite Frank moment?
If it's not the rum ham, it has to be the entire episode dedicated through Frank's vision, where it's just you just go through the entire course of the episode through Frank's eyes. And my goodness, what a hell of an episode. And it from start to finish was wild.
That one's awesome. The Who Pooped the Bed is a good episode.
Good one.
Good Frank
funny.
moment. Yeah, Poop's funny. You got to pay the troll toll to get in the boys' hole.
Yep.
Yeah. Glory hole in the bathroom with Frank was a good one. Obviously, OG. the Christmas special where he hides naked inside of the sofa.
I actually forgot about that one.
I mean, basically, anytime that Frank
It's on TV, it's gold.
it's gold. It's the best thing in the world. Any scene where he pulls his gun out, right? Like and uses it to like stir a drink or eat soup or whatever it is that he's using it for in the show. Yeah.
I need a new season of Always Sunny. It's been a hot minute.
Yeah, I think they're working on it. I think they are working on it.
Good.
And yeah, and so just like to take a moment to say happy birthday, Danny DeVito, and thank you personally for a lifetime of entertainment. Did you know he used to be a barber or actually no, he may have actually been a hairdresser.
Hold on, I have to keep talking about Danny DeVito. I got to show you something.
All right. So anyway, Danny DeVito used to be a hairdresser, I believe, and his name was Mr. Danny, and he did people's hair before he was discovered as an actor. Now, obviously, he made the right decision by becoming an actor. But if I ever ran into Danny DeVito, I might ask him to cut my hair. I might ask Mr. Danny to cut my hair. Is that one of those sequin pillows? Oh, people, if you're not watching us on YouTube right now, you just missed out on some grade A content because Kramer just pulled out a pillow. I'll visualize it for you. A throw pillow for your couch. And it looks like it's covered in black sequins, like a dress that Bette Midler would wear. And then Kramer just runs his fingers down it. And as he runs his fingers, it flips the sequins over to reveal Danny DeVito's face. And that is
beautiful, right? I love Danny DeVito.
That is a work of art, my friend. That is one of the most gorgeous effing things I have seen since I've seen your smile. Just today.
Stop it, Rocky.
The only thing more beautiful than that throw pillow is your smile, Kramer.
Oh, stop it. You're going to hate it in a second because I promise you, you're going to hear it's not going to be good.
Listen, I already know that you're going to try to talk shit on the Chiefs, and we're going to have to go at it because you're going to be one of these guys that's like, oh, Patrick Mahomes is done.
Oh, yeah.
We're so
sure.
done. Listen, they played better yesterday than they did in any of their losses last season, and they still won the Super Bowl last year. I have zero concerns right now, but we'll get into that later. Now's not the time. Time and place, Kramer. Stop trying to jump the gun. You're trying to get me riled up and grind my gears and get me pissed off before it's piss off time here on the show.
Well, that's not what I was even alluding to. So I'm curious what you're going to hear coming up next.
Yeah, no, but you know what time it is.
Oh yeah,
every week. It's what's hot with Krame Dog.
So I think, Rocky, we've seen a passing of the torch type of method, which honestly we'll probably see here in maybe a couple weeks. Follow me. So I know Noah Gray in the tight end world was amazing yesterday, but I'm not going to say right now that Travis Kelce has any type of competition with Noah Gray of being the best tight end in the AFC West or in possibly the NFL. But there's a guy in the AFC West that the Chiefs will play on Black Friday in the name of, he's a tight end, name of Brock Bowers, who's just absolutely just grabbing the NFL by the storm, eating everything he can, getting all the receptions, the touchdowns. He's literally the entire offense when it comes to the Las Vegas Raiders. There's really not much going on with the Las Vegas Raiders except for Brock Bowers. He will have a passing of the torch moment this Black Friday when the Chiefs do play on the Raiders. Granted, the Chiefs still may end up beating the Raiders, but Brock Bowers is going to show why he's the best tight end in the AFC West when they do play him on Black Friday.
Listen, he had a whole 58 yards in their first matchup.
Yeah, but here's the thing. That's after that matchup. Look at what he's been doing after that. Look what he did yesterday against the Miami Dolphins. 13 receptions, 130-some yards, and a touchdown. Like, he was an absolute stud. The week before that, bye week. Granted, they didn't win or lose. They lost the bye week. I'll just say it there. The week before that, then getting over 10-plus receptions, knocking on 100 yards, getting in the end zone. That's just what Brock Bowers is going to do. And buckle up, Kansas City. There's going to be a new face in that tight end realm of being number one. That's Brock Bowers.
You know what you have to do in order to be the number one tight end?
You got to beat the best to be the best. I know what Ric Flair said once.
Yeah, you got to beat the best to be the best, and you also got to win football games.
Yeah, but here's the thing: you can
and
play
they
football
haven't
and still
won.
win individual accomplishments.
They haven't won a football game since they played against the Browns. What was that, in week 5?
Yeah.
4 or 5?
They also beat the Ravens.
Yeah. And then since then, they lost to the Broncos, lost to the Steelers, lost to the Rams, lost to the Chiefs, lost to the Bengals,
Sounds
lost
about right.
to the Dolphins.
Yeah.
They lost.
They're tanking for
34-19. And your whole, like, Brock Bowers is this offensive juggernaut who's unstoppable and carrying the team. He carried the team.
That's what he does.
To a 15-point loss yesterday.
There's literally a one person can't do it all method in the NFL. We see that there's 11 guys on one side and 11 guys on the other, and all those guys need to go in a cohesive unit in order to win football games. Brock Bowers is one guy. You need a full entire team, and when they do get that high draft pick, get on a quarterback, hopefully hit on that quarterback in the draft, things will be okay. Then they'll go back to their 500 football season.
Listen. Oh, 500. Oof.
Hey, you gotta inch it back. You can't just say, you
by
go
that
from
point, by
worst
that
to first.
point,
We're Kansas City Royals here.
Yeah, well, if you were Kansas City, anything you could, and you're going to be a Chiefs fan by that point anyway. So
okay, you're right. Sure.
Yeah.
So you really think that with that loss yesterday, I think they're going to win the Super Bowl? I think my opinions might have changed. Just saying.
Oh my God! One regular season game.
Yep.
All of a sudden, you're super empowered to say the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl because they lost one regular season game. Hey, Kramer, every single Super Bowl champion, with the exception of one team, has lost a regular season game.
It's true.
Most of them have lost multiple regular season games. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but hell, the Chiefs last year lost multiple regular season games, including a shitty Christmas Day game to your shitty
Merry Christmas
Las Vegas Raiders.
Merry Christmas, by the way.
And
they might say Happy Thanksgiving to you this upcoming year.
Exactly. And your whole Brock Bowers is the new second coming of the tight end room. I mean,
he's a stud. Come on, he's a stud. You can't tell me he's not a stud.
He had one good week, but we're talking about the lead up. So he gets the Chiefs, he had 58 yards. The following week he had 45 yards, and then he has one good week, and suddenly he's like the second coming of Travis Kelce.
He'll get top 3 rookie votes this year.
Wow, top 3.
Yeah, because he had Jaden Daniels.
Wow, you're right. He is the greatest tight end of all time.
I know, soon to be. The passing of the torch is about to happen.
Oh my God.
Okay, listen. Welcome to What's Hot with Krame.
I will believe it when I see it. And guess what I expect to see after we play the Chiefs? Suddenly, Kramer's going to have gastrointestinal problems again and not be able to come on the show because he's got a big case of sissyitis because he doesn't want to come in and face the music.
Yeah,
he's going to play like shit.
I promise you I'll be there this time.
Yeah, you better be here this time because we got 2 games worth of whipping to have you sit there through and say, thank you, sir. May I have another?
Okay.
Because it's coming, bro. There's not a chance in the world that the Raiders beat the Chiefs at all this year.
Travis Kelce's over the hill. Brock Bowers is the best tight end in the West.
Travis Kelce is just being a team player. And yeah, is he as good as he used to be? Right. Is he as good as he used to be? No, I'm not going to sit here and act like he is. But to say that he's over the hill is ridiculous because he's still going to have in this limited role where he doesn't care about regular season stats at all. He's still going to end up with 800 yards receiving this year, which is more than 90% of tight ends in the NFL.
It's true.
And he's going to have another Super Bowl ring, which is the only thing that matters to him, which is the only thing that matters to anybody on the Chiefs, which is why when they lost yesterday, they were like, who cares? We lost.
They needed to lose. They needed to lose. I feel like they needed to.
Every team needs to lose. Every team needs a reset. No team can peak over an entire NFL season. At some point, every team needs a reset. Every team needs to go back to the drawing board. Every team needs to not have it pan out for them and get a slap in the face and a wake up call. They need it. They need that kick in the junk every now and again to get them back in line. And so the Raiders just tend to get that kick in the junk on a weekly basis, where the Chiefs get it once and they're like, okay, I'm good. I'm just going to go win a Super Bowl now.
Fair enough. Okay.
All right. There. I'm glad we settled that, Kramer.
I got nothing else to add to it. I just want to let you know.
This is going to be a contentious episode. I can already tell.
Yep.
And we're not even talking about your troubling political views, considering the Confederacy.
Hey, at least we won.
Oh my! The Confederacy won?
No, okay. Not that. You know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. At least, yeah. You think that you guys have risen again? Is that what you're saying? Yeah. I know what you're saying. I see you.
It's like an awkward dance, you know.
Yeah, and God sees you too, Kramer Sansone. Yeah. All right, moving on. All right, it's time for Pop Kingdom. So a little thing happened with the Chiefs. Well, not the Chiefs in general, but just a very certain, very popular player in the Chiefs that we just spoke about, Travis Kelce, and his very, very famous girlfriend, Taylor Swift, and his very famous family, where they did not attend the Buffalo Bills game. And rumor has it that the reasoning behind this is that Taylor is only attending home games this year because of security concerns on the road due to some interactions she had at visiting stadiums last year, specifically during the playoff game in Buffalo, where allegedly the moment that they pulled into the parking lot, Bills Mafia were grade A dickholes to Taylor Swift and the entire Kelce family, to the point where at times they made the women in the family not feel safe, and they didn't want anything to do with going back to that horrible city.
I'm not shocked.
Horrible fan base. And listen, it's all, I understand wanting to razz the opposing team, and I understand wanting to make your place a hostile place to play. So I'm not even like sitting here and gonna knock too hard on Bills Mafia beyond the fact that I'm a member of Chiefs Kingdom. So F Bills Mafia, go Chiefs Kingdom. So everything they do is wrong and everything we do is great. I blindly support my team like they blindly support their team. So they did something against my team, I blindly hate them for it. And that's where I'm at on it. But that being said, maybe not the best move to piss off all the Swifties and Taylor Swift in general, who is famous for saying you can forgive and not forget, because when somebody does something to you, you should remember it. And I would be shocked to see if Buffalo ever gets another Taylor Swift concert and they ever get the economic boon of her coming to town again, which
I wouldn't.
Let's be honest, it's not nothing.
What's in Buffalo besides the Bills? There's literally nothing. You fly over Buffalo to go to Toronto. You're literally Toronto is the bigger brother. They're like the little brother over that entire area. Buffalo is just like a figment of our imagination. I want to say I can't stand Bills Mafia. They're literally a cesspool of people that I can't get behind. I don't like the front office. I don't from top to bottom. I cannot stand Buffalo. I just they're the reason why the Chiefs are because of what the Buffalo Bills have done in the last 5 to 10 years. I'm just pointing that out there. So I even have more of a bigger hatred of why I do not like the Buffalo Bills. And this isn't cool. Can we at least be nice and cordial around people? Like we don't have to be vile, evil, say rude thing. I still don't understand why people even act a way because they want to feel like they're infuriating or intimidating other people. That's little D energy from Bills Mafia the entire way.
It is little D energy. You're absolutely right. And here's the thing. Like, here's my whole thing is if they want to sit there and tell Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes to go F themselves and they're a bunch of bitches and
that's
yada,
one
yada,
thing.
Yada,
yeah.
That's fine. But like, don't say shit to somebody's family that's not involved in the situation, right? Like, talk shit to the people who are on the field and supposed to be there and say whatever you want because they're getting paid to be there. And like, I know there's like sometimes players are like fans shouldn't be able to say whatever they want to say to us, and with us not being able to respond. Well, fans are paying to be there, and you make millions of dollars to be on that field, and it's a privilege to be in the NFL.
They're basically paying your salary.
Yeah, it goes along with it. Now hate speech has no place in the game, and that's where you draw the line. There is a line of what fans can say. But if somebody's calling you a bitch ass dickhole and you don't like it, then get over it, bro. Stop being a bitch ass dickhole and stop being so thin skinned. And so let's face it, those guys probably have very small dick holes. And
they have little D energy.
They have little D energy. They tuck it back before they go to sleep. They sit down to go pee. They
they tuck it when they go jump through a damn table.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I bet you like that's the whole reason why Bill's Mafia likes to jump through tables so much, is they like the feeling of their wrinkly old balls getting smashed underneath their ass cheeks when they smash down on the table. They just like their dangly sacks. Like, remember the movie what was that, baby? Like, what was the Adam Sandler movie, Big Daddy, where he's like talking about the old guy at Hooters. It's like, his balls are so old. Look at him.
Is that Big Daddy?
Yeah, I think it's Big Daddy. They're just so old. Like, his balls are so old. That's how I feel about, like, you see these fat ass Bill's Mafia guys that nothing but eat sausage and shotgun beers for 45 years of their life, that are on the brink of their third heart attack, jumping off of the top of an RV through a table. You know that their ball sacks have to be hanging like 6 inches down and just wrapping up into their stanky buttholes and just getting smashed on those tables. And they're just sitting there, just like eyes rolling back in ecstasy as they smash ball sacks on tables.
That's so foul. That's so gross. I don't even want to get that. I need to get that picture out of my head, dude.
Yeah, thank you, Bill's Mafia. That's what you did. Look what you did to Kramer, Bill's Mafia. You guys ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah, piss off, Bill's Mafia.
First Taylor and now Kramer. Kramer's an angel, and you just look at that. He'll never be the same after having that image in his mind. You have corrupted and perverted Kramer for his entire life. And now his internet search history is going to be nothing but disgusting debauchery things that are going to get him in trouble with his fiance.
So the wild thing is, my tire just got like a nail in it. Didn't say a damn word to anybody. Just did one search of just trying to figure out I need to go discount tire. Ads constantly just now of just like, oh yeah, tire repair, do this, that. You got a nail in your tire. So whatever you just said there, I'm going to get on my phone now. So thank you.
Yeah. No, we're going to get nothing but like plastic surgeon ads for like ball sack lifts. Is your ball sack 6 inches down off your skin, and does it keep on swinging back and slapping into your butthole? Get a ball sack lift whatever. Like,
what's that? What's that? The pong paddle with the ball in the end. You paddle it. That's what I'm thinking of right now. But just that is a saggy skin.
Yeah. Does your ball sack look like Jake Paul's speed bag? It's in the lead up to the Tyson fight. Call us. We'll give you a ball sack lift. Speaking of which, did you watch the Tyson Paul fight?
Yes, I did. I was a part of the Netflix people who kept getting kicked out about 25 times. But I never
experienced getting kicked out. It worked perfect for me.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
The entire time.
Mm-hmm.
That's impressive. It stopped working like around the second fight, but Mike looked pretty good the first 2 rounds. He looked like he was sharp as a tack. Then Father Time is undefeated.
Yeah, he looked good the first 2 rounds, and then he looked like he had dementia and didn't know where he was at. He was just like walking around like he was in the locker room in the lead up to the fight, where he's walking around in assless chaps with his butt hanging out.
Which is awesome.
Just awesome. I was here for it. Just Mike Tyson walking around with his ass out on Netflix was everything that I hoped for in the fight. I could have not watched a single second of the fight and been happy with the moment I saw Mike Tyson walk around assless in the locker room.
But the second round though, Jake was actually like going back, being actually scared of taking a punch from him because Mike was just going.
Yeah, he had the puncher. He still had the puncher's power. He just doesn't have his legs were gone. He has no legs. His legs are completely gone. And so he can't throw the power for as consistently as he used to. Doesn't get the same torque on the body shots. It's just, he's 58 years old. He's old. 58 years old. But I'll tell you what, that undercard for the women's fight between
electric.
Yeah, Katie Taylor and the other girl, that was one of the best fights I've ever seen. and I've seen a lot of boxing matches. I mean, and that was one of the best ones I've ever seen.
That
And
should
it's
have been the
funny.
main event.
Yeah, it should have been the main event. It should have been that. I mean, that like number 3 should be a pay-per-view the next time they fight, because like I would pay to watch those two fight again. And it's funny because Katie Taylor, the one who ended up winning, which I do think she probably lost. They both fought a great fight, but she probably lost on the cards. The visual of the other girl's eye just dangling out of her eye socket because it was split to hell and back was gnarly and like a stark visual for that the judges had to look at, right? And it didn't seem like
it happened on a headbutt, so it's like,
yeah, but at the same time, it looked like the judges probably didn't buy the referee's opinion that the headbutt was on purpose, like because the headbutt didn't look like it was on purpose. The headbutt looked like it was incidental. It was their two fighting styles. It's just the way it is. And the judges had her on the scorecards. Do I think she won? Probably not. But I think that no matter who won that fight, us, the viewers, were the real winners for getting to watch that fight, right?
Yes.
And the funny thing is, though, that Katie Taylor girl, the one who won, she actually lives not just in the in Dublin, where my wife went to college, right? Got her master's, but she lives in the suburb of Dublin, and that's where she's from, where my wife's roommate lives, where I just was when I was in Ireland, and I had like that one night of long drinking for my wife's roommate's birthday, and I was in that specific Dublin suburb where she fights out of for that birthday party. Just
sick. So you could have crossed paths with this gal.
I could have. I texted my wife's old college roommate while the fight was going on. I was like, I see the Pride of Bray fight, because Bray, Ireland is where she fights out of. I see the Pride of Bray's fighting tonight. That's awesome. And she was like, yeah, we're so excited for Katie. And then she said like a first name basis, because Ireland's not a big place. So it wouldn't surprise me, right? Like if they've crossed paths and like everybody in that town knows each other.
Sick. If there's a place where we can, interview her. Veach season, baby.
We should try to get her on the show. She can. Hey, Katie Taylor, you can host this show.
Oh yeah.
You could do whatever you want. We'll give you the entire episode to do whatever you want with, and you can talk shit. You can talk about knitting. I don't give a damn. We'll let you do whatever you want. Amen. I mean, because as you can tell with this episode, talking about ball sacks, and then last week's episode about the importance of fluoride.
I forgot about that. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. We did cover that.
We really cover a spectrum of information here on this show. And so, but yeah,
Veach season, baby.
Veach season, baby. That was a hell of a show. That was a hell of a fight.
Yeah, no, it was.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. In actual Chiefs news, though, the Chiefs added a player to their practice squad today, and it's not like a normal practice squad guy where you're like, oh, maybe who is this? But the Chiefs added. Have you ever seen the movie Talladega Nights?
I have, yes.
In the very beginning, it says what, like, girls like speed, hot, nasty ass speed, and it says like Eleanor Roosevelt is like who the quote's by. Yep. And that's it should say now Chiefs like speed, hot, nasty ass speed, because the Patriots parted ways with former second-round draft pick wide receiver Tyquan Thornton, who ran a 4.28 40 at the combine, and the Chiefs have added him to their practice squad. Another burner to go along with Mecole Hardman and Xavier Worthy, just putting a premium on speed. And this has to be a move that the Chiefs see where they want to, A, probably use them in special teams, but then B, continue to try to stretch the field to soften things up underneath for DeAndre Hopkins and Travis Kelce.
So who's going to see less reps here? I can see one guy in particular, and Justin Watson. I think his time has started to dwindle out. Also, the snap count on Juju Smith-Schuster. I know he was hurt, but only 30% of the snaps this past week. And D-Hop only had 47% snaps this past game. So who's the what's going on with it was just because of the 2 tight end set this week, or are we just trying to see if them open the field up now with Traquan Thornton?
Yeah, I think it was the 2 tight end set. I think they had to leave people back to protect Mahomes because of the pass rush. And I think they're just trying to like cycle people out because DeAndre Hopkins and Juju Smith-Schuster do a lot of the same thing.
Yeah, no, that's true. They're
Right.
very good
So,
possession receivers. And then
yeah.
I honestly, I'd feel like we're going to see Traquan Thornton do more of a punt return, kick return role for those teams. Maybe not. Maybe Carson Steele doesn't want to. Maybe that's not the true answer on kickoffs. But who knows? We'll see. We'll see what they do with them and utilize them.
Listen, kickoff punt return, he'd be awesome. I was big on Tyquan Thornton when he came out. He's had a lot of injuries. He was never really a good fit for New England. He was overdrafted. He probably shouldn't have been a second-round draft pick. But here's the thing about Tyquan Thornton. He's small, which is probably why he gets injured quite a bit. He's a skinny guy. So you don't want him to take 10, 12 targets a game. But he's also tough. Not the year he came out, but the year before he came out in the draft, he broke his hand. He played the entire season with a broken hand and had a club, had his whole entire hand in a cast with a club. And he's out there catching passes with a GD club on his hand, just like one hand here and pinning it against the club and making catches. It's something that I had never seen anything like it. And it was incredibly impressive to watch happen. And so I think the Chiefs will find, listen, I think that Tyquan Thornton is as good of a football player as Mecole Hardman, right? Like they're
he could be better.
Yeah, they're very similar players. And we already know what Mecole is. At least Tyquan Thornton has some upside. And I think that there's room in this offense for the Chiefs to just cycle out speedsters and use them in different ways. I mean, listen, you say you can't give Xavier Worthy 15 touches a game because he's too small. You say you can't give Mecole Hardman 15 touches. You can't give Tyquan Thornton 15 touches, but you can give them each 6, right?
It's true.
And you just cycle these out, and the next thing you know, opposing defenses are tired because they've been running all over the place because all you're doing is you're just cycling out horses that can gallop and making the other defenses spread out.
Is this because they're Chiefs are in the Super Bowl. That's given. That's just what the mindset is here in Kansas City. Are they trying to prepare for the boat race show that the Lions do every single week, knowing that the shootout for them, maybe that's the speed. They need to get as many speed guys as they can just for that final game this year.
I think the Chiefs they're preparing for the playoffs in general.
Yeah.
That they want to have the horses it's going to take. They're going to get everybody back. They're going to get everybody healthy. And they want to have the horses to make this run, and they want as many horses as possible because they've seen how many injuries there are in the NFL this year, not just for the Chiefs, across the board.
Oh, yeah.
The whole league is ravaged by injuries. And so they want to be able to fall back on as many players that they can plug and play that can do similar things to what they want to do, right? If Xavier Worthy goes down, or Mecole Hardman goes down, they want a guy they can plug in there who can do similar things. They don't have,
of course, yeah,
a guy plug in there right now. So that's what Tyquan Thornton is. We'll see. I mean, I like it. I think it's a great. It's a zero risk, 100% reward move for the Chiefs at this point to give them another weapon. Now, there's other areas in the roster that we'll talk about here in a bit that probably that area of the garden needs more tending to right now than wide receiver, but anytime you can add a wide receiver, it's never a bad thing. So I'm excited about it. But regardless, with the Chiefs losing last week, they still got a 2-game lead on the division over the Chargers, which I was really hoping that Joe Burrow would find a way not to shit the bed and crap his pants against the Chargers at the end of the game yesterday, but unfortunately, he did, and the Chargers pulled out the close victory to kind of keep pace with the Chiefs a little bit. Regardless, the Chiefs still have a 2-game victory with their upcoming schedule. I don't foresee any team in our division being able to close that distance.
Yeah, no.
Right now, the Chiefs are going to win this division, and so it's just a matter of taking care of business at this point. And those for you who don't know. The Chiefs' upcoming schedule, right? They're going to play the Panthers, the 3-7 Panthers, this next upcoming week. Then they play the Raiders. Then they have the Chargers. Then they have the Browns, Texans, and Steelers, right? So, and then they finish the season with the Broncos.
Yeah, man, I can't believe this is week 12. We're going into week 12 after that. That's nuts.
Yeah.
Time's flying, dude.
Yeah. No, time is flying. And if we break down the schedule, we're going to say Panthers. I'm going to call Panthers a win.
Okay.
I'm going to call. You're not going to like this. I'm going to call Raiders a win.
I hope it's a win for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I want the Raiders to lose. They need to get a top draft pick.
And then I'm gonna call Browns a win.
Yeah, Browns suck. I love Jameis, but Browns suck.
I'm gonna call Texans a win because they're not playing great right now.
How's the Monday night game going?
Right now?
Yeah, I'll pull it up.
Let me look at it. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, we record on Monday nights during Monday Night Football. So every now and again, you're lucky enough to get a
17-7 right now. Texans Cowboys. Did I get my? Did we cash? Did we cash?
But they're playing the
got
Cowboys.
2 touchdowns. I almost took that bet. I almost took the 2 touchdown bet.
Of course, they're winning. They're playing the Cowboys.
Yeah, Cowboys are bad.
Yeah, and they don't have Dak right now. The Cowboys are minus Dak. Anyway, long story short, the Chiefs the Chiefs right now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games left. Of those 7 games,
probably 1 is a loss.
Yeah, probably 1, maybe 2 is a loss. Like you could see maybe they lose 2 of the 3 between Chargers, Texans, and Steelers.
I think they're losing Christmas Day. Like I just do not see the Chiefs winning on Wednesday. I just don't. And it's also in Pittsburgh. If you lose, you lose. Who cares? Go. Make sure you beat the dog crap out of the Broncos the next week and be fine and call it good.
Well, so that's what I'm saying. So say they lose 2 more games, right?
Yeah, they're fine.
All right. So we're talking 15-2.
Yeah.
Or 14-3. It's 14-3 good enough to get the number 1 seed?
Yes. Bills will lose.
It should.
Steelers will probably lose at some point. But that's the thing too. The Steelers might be the team that is. I don't know. Like that team. I just don't get it. I don't understand how they win. I mean, granted, it was Chris Boswell this past week. The weeks before that, Russell Wilson's looks like he's found something again, which is surprising. Unless it's Arthur Smith being able to draw the strings there. The team that's going to be close with that 1 seed is going to be Pittsburgh.
You know why Pittsburgh wins?
Their schedule is so easy. That's why they win.
Look at their schedule. Like their schedule's simple, and they still have 2 games against the Browns, a game against the Bengals, and they still have 2 games against the Browns and 2 games against the Bengals this year.
Yeah, those
you can put 4 more victories on their
at least 3 guaranteed there.
Yeah, so they're going to end up with at least 12 victories, and then they have to play Eagles, Ravens, Chiefs in a row. That's
the Ravens once.
Yeah, and you say that the Chiefs aren't going to beat the Steelers on Wednesday in Pittsburgh, but Pittsburgh is playing at Baltimore 4 days before they play the Chiefs. That's a tough turnaround.
Well, I mean, the Chiefs playing the Chargers, right?
Yeah,
that's a tough turnaround. It's just they're both.
They're both tough turnarounds, but I wouldn't say that the Chiefs' schedule is the reason why they'll lose that game because the Steelers have just as bad.
I just think it's much easier for a team staying in their home area, doing stuff at their home, rather than coming in and flying in on a Wednesday, or if they fly in on Tuesday, or they're there after the Chargers game.
It depends on if you like your home or not. Not all homes are safe, Kramer.
It's true.
Some people have to leave their homes in order to be safe. That's very insensitive of you. Very insensitive.
Can't argue that.
But yeah, so we'll see what happens. Listen, the Chiefs are going to win 14 games this year. The Chiefs are going to be in the running for the number 1 seed. They're in the running for the number 1 seed. They're going to make the Super Bowl.
They may or may not.
And then they'll have a game against the Detroit Lions. I'm not going to sit here and act like the Detroit Lions, like the Chiefs are just going to beat the pants off the Detroit Lions in the Super Bowl, because that's going to be a hell of a game.
Yeah, no, I agree. Even if
It's going to be a hell of a game.
Even if it's the Eagles going to be in there, it's going to be a hell of a game. Whoever wins the NFC, it's going to be a hell of a game.
Yeah, I mean, the Super Bowl in general is going to be a hell of a game.
Yeah, unless it's the 49ers making it, then it won't be a hell of a game, because that's just going to be an easy win for the Chiefs.
Yeah, the 49ers suck this year.
They're very bad.
Yeah,
they lost this past week against the Seahawks.
Yeah, they lost. They lost in the last second too. It was a bad loss. 16 seconds on the clock, and they gave up the game-winning touchdown.
And Geno runs it in.
It's almost like the Chiefs let Josh Allen run it in the fourth quarter of this game.
About 23 yards out, I want to say. Yeah,
which was a terrible rep by the Chiefs. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it. Like, tackling on that play
so piss poor,
terrible, piss poor. Nick Bolton had an opportunity to wrap him up and just try to throw his shoulder straight into him. It was the worst tackling I think I've seen all year long. Everybody's just out of position. They over pursued. They didn't have lane integrity. You knew that Josh Allen was going to run the ball if there was nobody open. It's complete defensive breakdown in the biggest moment, and you can't have that. But it's not a shock, because we saw this in the game that the Chiefs lost lane integrity in their pass rush over and over and over again. And the thing about it is that Josh Allen only runs one place, and that's directly up the middle. He's not Lamar Jackson, where he's running all over the field. He runs straight up the middle, and he's a power runner. He's like Carson Steele, right? He runs like he's Carson Steele.
Yeah,
except for he's bigger than Carson Steele, and the Chiefs just bend it around him. Instead of trying to go over the center and put pressure directly up the middle, they literally just let themselves get bent between the guard and the tackle to create just an open lane for Josh Allen over and over again. And they have to know better than that. They have to play better than that against him. I understand it's easier said than done. But when you play Josh Allen, you know that there's two things you have to do. You got to shore up the center of the line so he can't run the ball. And you have and when you put pressure on him, he's going to chuck the ball and pray. He's done it his whole career. He continues to do it. I said the stat on the postgame show yesterday. When he has a clean pocket, his average depth of target is 6.5 yards. Under pressure, it's 13.5 yards. The man just chucks the ball and prays. His PFF passer rating drops by 35 points when he's under pressure versus when he has a clean pocket. And that's because he literally just closes his eyes and just says, "Oh God, somebody make a play," and throws it. And the Chiefs don't have the cornerbacks right now to defend against that. Najee Johnson isn't good enough. Shamari Connor is a safety trying to play in the slot. Really, that's you want to talk about deficiencies right now for this Kansas City Chiefs team. Obviously, it's tackle. Jawan Taylor is a liability. Even though he's a lesser of two evils right now, he's a liability. Wanya Morris is playing.
He's got 2 more years after this year, right?
Yeah.
Taylor, because he signed a 4-year deal.
4 years,
year
80
2
million guaranteed. Yeah, $20 million a year.
Whew, that's rough.
So 2 more years of Jawan Taylor, and then Wanya played a little bit better, but still struggles, still taking his lumps. And there's nobody behind Wanya, so it's Wanya or bust, right? So
where's Ethan Driscoll at? Come on now.
He was active. He was active for the game.
I know. I want to see him this week against Carolina. Why not?
Possibly. Listen, if the Chiefs are going to bring in a veteran,
they can do it now.
This is the week to do it, right? Against a team that's.
And even if you bring in a veteran now, you don't have to start him. You don't even have to have him play this week. Get him in there just to get into shape. So you have him by the Raiders game or the week after that.
And listen, Brett said that he needed us to cover today's episode so that he could go out there and work the phones. I hope by work the phones he meant call up other GMs or call up players who are on practice squads or sitting at home right now.
Just get a hold of Donovan Smith.
And not that he is working the phones, that he is still working moonlighting as a sex phone operator and trying to use that Brett Veach chewing bubblegum voice as the cocky young jock who you call up to who makes you feel beautiful and good about yourself. Now, listen, I'm not saying I haven't spent a little bit of money on calling Brett Veach to listen to him talk dirty to me. And by a little bit of money, I'm talking Charles Barkley at the blackjack table levels of money to hear Brett Veach sit there and tell me how big and hairy I am and how much he likes it, how he likes a bear of a man like myself with his little that gum chewing mouth that he has. Listen, you know what they say? If you can chew gum, there's a lot of other things you can do.
You can multitask. I mean, chewing gum is multitasking.
Exactly. That's what I meant.
I mean, that's okay. All right. I guess you're right. You're right. Okay.
Get your mind out of the gutter, Kramer. You're trying to get us canceled here.
Yep. Yeah, I'm the guy. We've been canceled once. You're right.
Yep. But that being said, Brett Veach should be out there calling every single tackle, trying to get them in.
Like he seems to call us. We'll be one guy. Like with this, we're there the entire time. We're the same jersey, but we're gonna help push.
We'll do that. We'll either do one of two things. We'll be like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and we'll combine into like one big mech robot that's like super powerful that has superpowers.
Yeah.
Or we'll be like on all the old cartoons where you sit on my shoulders and we're wearing like
I don't know. I think we have to morph.
That covers both of us, and then we do it.
I think we have to morph in order for this to work out, but I don't know.
Listen.
Are you going to get on my shoulders or am I going to get on your shoulders?
No, you're going to get on my shoulders because I have a very sturdy base. Listen,
okay.
Have I told you the story about when I won a chicken tournament?
You have.
Right? Yes, yeah. Listen, I am undefeated as a base.
You're right.
We can do this. Shoulders. I spent Saturday carrying a 3-year-old around Legoland for 8 hours straight.
That's
on
sick,
my shoulders. Actually. Yeah, he's 42 pounds at 3 years of age. That's like carrying a rucksack on your neck for an entire day. Listen, I got you, bro. Oh my gosh, there was this. We were waiting outside the Ninjago ride for like the characters to come out for him to like do a meet and greet thing because he loves Ninjago, like Lego Ninjago. And there's this other kid that walked up to him who was like exact same size as my son, and he was wearing a T-shirt that said like "It's my 6th birthday," and I was like, "Oh my." I guess he is big for his size, or this kid was just tiny. One of the two, maybe both. Maybe he was a really small 6-year-old and a really tall 3-year-old.
Get pads on your son right now. Start him doing Oklahoma drills. He's going to be. It's time.
We wrestle literally every single day for at least an hour straight every night, and I don't take it easy on him. The kid is a psychopath when it comes to wrestling, and like anytime we're wrestling, I'm like pinning him down, and he's like, "I'm done." I'm like, "Well, you better fight for your freedom then." And I don't like hold him down like with all my might or anything, but then I like sit there and I help him like work through like, okay, here's where you need to put your hand. This is where you need to push up on the elbow. This is your leverage. This is like because I used to be a wrestling coach, right?
Yeah.
And so I talk him through how to get out of the hold, but I make him sit there and do it and get out of the hold. No easy rides here in the Magaña house. I am breeding a future defensive tackle here for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Amen.
I would say left tackle, but I don't know if he has the arm length. That's the problem.
Oh yeah, you got to have that certain Andy Reid Goldilocks zone of arm length.
So he's either going to be a guard or a defensive tackle. I think with his aggression, he's like a guard. He's a defensive tackle through and through. And so the only problem is he's really good at soccer, and he really likes soccer.
I need to be the kicker.
Yeah, or he could be the next Tamba Hali. Tamba Hali played soccer until high school.
He's your idol too.
He is my idol. I love Tamba Hali so much. What a great guy. Anyway, that being said, Chiefs need tackles. Chiefs need cornerbacks.
Yes. Cornerbacks for sure. It's looking sad. I thought last week, the week prior, that I thought they were just like running like, all right, we're gonna get the safeties out here. Let's see what we can do. We know Josh Allen likes to heave the ball deep. Granted, games playing change, and the safeties on the field were the liability this week against the Bills, and you just can't have that. You need to get they need a corner. This is the week they really miss L'Jarius Sneed. This is that week.
Yeah, this is the week that they missed L'Jarius Sneed and having him out there erasing Amari Cooper, right?
Yep.
And or so that because what happens is if they had L'Jarius Sneed out there erasing Amari Cooper, then Trent McDuffie's on Mac Hollins in the slot or on KJ Hamler or not KJ Hamler on what's his nuts
Khalil Shakir.
Khalil Shakir. Yeah, it was hard to watch. But that being said, Veach needs to get out there. He needs to start looking at at every single young cornerback on a practice squad. You get out there and find somebody. So there's got to be somebody out there who is this year's, Charvarius Ward. Some team has him. Some team that's really deep at cornerback was able to stash a guy, and you got to find him. Maybe it's the Baltimore Ravens. They have a guy named Bump Cooper on their practice squad. Maybe it's Bump Cooper.
Yes.
Maybe he plays really good bump and run, right?
Yeah.
I'm looking through here for anything that installs any kind of hope in my mind, and it's not looking good so far. But maybe there's a guy out there who plays for Chris Lamons. He's on Indianapolis. Bring old Chris Lamons back home. Trey Flowers is on Jacksonville.
I don't have any interest in these guys whatsoever. Like it's
me either. I'm grasping at straws here, Krame. But with one question that we should be asking is, should they think about bringing Nick Jones up from the practice squad and giving him a shot?
I mean, anything can help. I like Shamari Connor. He got the interception this past week. That's pretty much basically it. I like Najee Johnson, but he's slow. Anything can help. Like, where's Bo Pete Keys at? Can we get him back here? He's somewhere?
He's got to be out there somewhere. He's got to be out there somewhere. He's on some team out here. I'm going through them all right now, trying to find him. Kamal Haddon is in Green Bay. Bring him back. Maybe
it's almost as if was it Kelvin Joseph they had tried out here over the offseason? Where's he at? Is he out free agency or is he?
Yeah, I think he's a free agent. I don't see him on any team.
I mean, that's telling right there. If he's a free agent and the Chiefs need a corner, they need to go out and get him. They're not in the market of getting a corner. This is what we're going to see. This is what they're going to be putting together each week. Is what we're seeing on the field right now, and you guys got to get used to it. It seems like they're more focused on wanting to bring more people on the offensive side of the things rather than on the defense because they already know the defense is good. This is literally one bad week where the defense first time and sometime where the defense screwed up. Even in their last loss on Christmas Day, that wasn't the defense's fault. That was Patrick Mahomes' fault, which Patrick Mahomes' fault was also this week as well. So
yeah, if you want to talk about it, Patrick Mahomes put the defense in a horrible situation.
Exactly.
Patrick Mahomes started up on the wrong foot.
He has to be tired each week because of the kids back at home. I'm just gonna put on that. Like he is tired. I don't know what's wrong with him. He is not the Patrick Mahomes that I've seen for the first 3, 4, 5 regular seasons that he's played. He's looked very bad very quickly this year. And I don't get it. I don't know if it's because he doesn't trust the offensive line. I don't know if it's because he doesn't trust his weapons. He's just not hitting his target. He missed Travis Kelce once again wide open this past week.
Yeah, he did. And that interception
was horrendous.
There's no excuse for throwing that pass, and he knows that. Take the sack, live to fight another day. You're 2 plays into the game at midfield, and you literally flip it around and make your defense, who are not expected to be on the field right now, get out there and try to defend a short field. Like that is like, you want to talk about like unfair? Like that's the most unfair situation to put your defense in if you're Patrick Mahomes. Mm-hmm. And he has to do better than that. And he has to play better than that. And he has to make better decisions because that play was inexcusable from a quarterback of his caliber.
Yeah, but I'm growing accustomed to him doing this year. I am.
We said the same thing about him last year, and he
figured that out because he took his lumps, and by like week 8 or week 9, it just flipped, And it's also probably because of how late the bye week was last year and how early the bye week was this year. I think that week 6 bye week, that's gonna be the most detrimental thing to the Chiefs this entire season is because of how early that bye week was.
That's why they got to get that. That's why they got to get that week one that bye that number 1 seed bye in the playoffs, and then also be able to rest their starters on week 18. They have that 2 weeks to get everybody rested up.
And now you can actually truly rest them up, so you're not trying to fight with the perfect season type thing. Like at least you don't have to worry about that anymore. Now you can just go like, all right, let's rest these guys.
Yeah. Andy Reid said today that he's gonna simplify the offense to try to speed things up and play with a faster tempo. And when he was asked what that means, he said less shifts, more just getting in and out of the huddle, getting the line of scrimmage, and getting the play hiked.
No huddle, baby.
He said he was doing it to make things easier on some of the newer guys and the younger guys. I assume he's talking about DeAndre Hopkins, Juju Smith-Schuster, Xavier Worthy.
Literally the entire offense.
Kareem Hunt. Yeah, literally the entire offense right now.
And I think I trust Noah Gray in this offense more than Travis Kelce.
Well, he has been in the offense for 4 years, right? At this point, he knows the offense. He's in his prime. I mean, but here's the thing. Noah Gray had a good day because they were focusing on Travis Kelce and DeAndre Hopkins. The Bills played defense just like the Chiefs play, where they pressured the quarterback and they took your best receivers away from you, right? And they erased the best receivers. And Noah Gray was the benefactor of that. Whether or not he can continue that, we'll see. We'll see if he ends up being the heir apparent to Travis Kelce as the greatest tight end in the NFC.
That would be pretty cool.
Or the AFC, right? I mean,
both good-looking dudes.
He's a handsome dude. He is a handsome ass man.
Got to be rubbing shoulders with him once. It was pretty sweet.
Yeah. Before we move on to next week's game and then get out of here, did you look at social media at all after this game when the Chiefs lost? People have been losing their minds, acting like the Chiefs are going to completely slayed, that they're just like completely done.
I replied to a tweet that I think the NFL posted out there saying, "Oh, congratulations, the Bills won their Super Bowl. Congratulations!" That I didn't check anything else because I'm like, I didn't care. I knew it was going to be probably funny, but like even with my friends didn't even send me anything that I thought would be hilarious because they probably like, oh well.
Yeah, oh well. Remember that time that the Bills beat the Chiefs in the regular season and then went on to win the Super Bowl? Crickets. All right. Enjoy your regular season victory, Bills Mafia. Enjoy your regular season Super Bowl. Come talk to us when you win the games that matter.
Yeah, no kidding.
I said it earlier. Every single team loses a game in the regular season. And Bleacher Report put out a stupid graphic of Travis Kelce crying at a bar with Josh Allen laughing, like smiling at him or something like that. And like other people put out like these memes of like Josh Allen being a hero for slaying the dragon and beating the Chiefs and da 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 da. And all this is, Kramer, all this is they hate us because they ain't us. And it's that old saying where you either like die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. And the Chiefs have lived long enough to see themselves become the villain. And that's all it is, that everybody hates them because they've had too much success. And when your team has this much success, it's at the expense of everybody else's team. And I'm sorry that all you guys are crying into your haterade and you think that a regular season victory is going to all of a sudden exercise all the Chiefs demons out of your life. But we live like the Chiefs live rent free in all your fan base's heads because you care way too much about them losing a regular season game. Like, honest to God, Baltimore Ravens, I think, are a great team. Buffalo Bills are a great team. I don't sit there and salivate over the outcome of waiting for them to lose a game so that I can hop onto social media and be like, oh, look, they suck now, right? Like, that's a loser's mentality. You're more worried about what the other team's doing than what your team is doing.
Yep. Like I can't. I just can't. I don't like Bills Mafia. You know this. I don't like Bills. Yeah.
Look, are we making a stand? Are we drawing a line in the sand on this episode? This is an official Veach season stance that we are enemies of Bills Mafia.
Oh, 1,000%. I've never. Yeah.
You hear that, Bills Mafia? You hear that?
Don't come in our neck of the woods.
Don't come in our neck of the woods. Don't try to come on our show. Don't try to come at us. It's we don't want to hear it. You guys suck. And
they suck the little man syndrome.
Yep, they suck the little man who has the little man syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
They suck the little man's little man with their saggy floppy ball sacks.
God.
And their sweaty butt cheeks.
God. Just a gross visual. Just a gross visual.
Speaking of sweaty butt cheeks, have you ever been to
Mike
Carolina? Or have you ever been to Charleston, South Carolina, or North Carolina, or anything like that?
It's is that North Carolina? Charleston, North Carolina?
No, Charleston is South Carolina. Charlotte is North Carolina.
That's right. No, never been to the Carolinas.
In the summertime, your butt cheeks will be sweaty if you go there.
Oh, will it?
Yeah, much like if you come to Florida at any time of the year, your butt cheeks will be sweaty.
Yeah, that's a given. It's Florida.
It's a given. It's Florida. But winter is coming, thank God, in the Carolinas. And with that, also, winter is coming when the Chiefs come to town, because I fully believe that they're going to smack the ever-loving shit out of the Carolina Panthers in this game and exercise a lot of their demons and frustrations from last week and make a point that they are who we thought they were. And I see them roll into like a 20-point victory in this game.
Now, I would love for that to happen. I don't think a 20-point victory might be the thing. It's something that the Chiefs need to do desperately to get back to, like, hey, it's our get-right game. That's what we can treat this as. I just don't see it actually fully panning out that way. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be close this entire time. You have the Panthers coming out off of a bye. They're going to be fully healthy, ready, and prepared. That's a recipe for, I guess, success for them. It's just whether or not can the Chiefs execute. They executed poorly just past week, and they lost a turnover battle. They got to win the turnover battle against there's going to be opportunities where you can get turnovers with the Panthers. Whoever's throwing the football, whether if it is Bryce Young or is Andy Dalton is their backup? Is that the
Andy Dalton?
They will throw the interception. That will happen. It's just whether can they stop the run this week? They should. They'll be fine.
I mean, the biggest thing with them is
there's literally one guy on the Panthers that does anything. That's Chuba Hubbard. That's it.
Well, the Panthers also don't have anybody on defense, right? They got Ashawn Robinson is basically their best defensive player at this point. They have some guys on offense that I like. They just doesn't all come together, and they're also young, and they don't have a good offensive line.
But their owner's a dumbass.
Yeah, their owner's a dumbass. That's what I was saying. You talk about preparing, but you got to think about who it is that's preparing.
No, I know,
right?
True. Like, it's the defending Super Bowl champions, back-to-back, Mr. two-time, well, 3 in Patrick Mahomes' era, but still.
I would take Andy Reid's preparation for this game for 3 days over whoever Carolina's current head coach is.
Who is their head coach? Why can't
for 2 weeks?
Is it Frank Reich? No, he got fired.
No, he got fired.
Who is the head coach of Carolina?
See, that's why I'm not concerned about them.
Are we overlooking them though? Are we overlooking them?
Dave Canales is their head coach.
Okay. He's the Seahawks guy, isn't he? No.
I can't. Was the Green Bay Packers guy.
He sucks.
Let's look here. He has a menu item named after him at Red Rocks Cafe.
Okay.
It's
kind of cool, actually.
Yeah. They drink Sleepy Monkey brand coffee from Oregon. He's a late morning workout person. They're not actually talking about anything he has to do with football. So
Chiefs by 50. Gotcha. Okay, we got that figured out.
Chiefs by 50. Yeah, I mean, they got Xavier Legette, who I love as a
Yeah,
player.
but he hasn't done anything this year. That's the annoying part. It's because he hasn't been.
He hasn't played at all, and he was playing behind Jonathan Mingo all year.
And then he get traded.
Anything. Yeah, Mingo got traded. They still have Jatavian Sanders, but he's a rookie. It's just
The running back is going to be playing this week. Is it? Why can't I think of his
Jonathan
name?
Brooks.
Yes,
Jonathan
Brooks.
Yeah, Brooks will be playing. He's good.
Yeah, he used a second round draft pick on him. I'd hope he's good.
Yeah, it's just there's just too many. There's too many holes, right? They've a couple of young, bright players surrounded by a lot of holes, and I don't believe in Bryce Young at all. I never did. I said that he was going to be a bust on this podcast. I said CJ Stroud was the best quarterback in the draft, and Bryce Young was a bust. Looks like I was right.
Yeah,
I said Caleb Williams was going to be a bust, and that Drake May was going to be a better quarterback, and Jalen Daniels. We said Jalen Daniels was the best quarterback in the draft.
Yep,
we were right, and they're clamoring for Caleb Williams to be benched right now. We also said that Caleb Williams needed to sit for a year because he doesn't have the mental makeup to be a starter in the NFL right now, and he doesn't, and he still doesn't. And so, listen, Patrick Mahomes is going to be fine. Bryce Young sucks. Chiefs are going to win by 50, like you said. This is a get right game. I feel like they're going to run in there. They're going to beat the crap out of them. Everybody's going to feel good about them again, and then we're going to see what happens the following week. But regardless of what happens in this game against the Panthers, you can't take anything from it.
No,
right?
no, you can't. You really can't because of how poorly built this team is. It's like playing a JV squad.
This is like Jake Paul fighting Mike Tyson. You either beat up a 58-year-old man or you lose to a 58-year-old man. This is like when I was 9 years old. I had to wrestle a girl when I was 9 years old, Kramer, and she beat me. She beat the shit out of me. She pinned me in like the first period, and she was really, really good. And the whole time after that, like I never lived it down for like the rest of the season. Everybody, including my dad, talked about how I got beat by a girl. But if I would have beat her, it wouldn't have mattered anyway because I was expected to beat her because she was a quote unquote girl, right?
Yeah.
Thank you, toxic masculinity, for giving us unwinnable situations to live through in our lives. But it's the exact same thing with the Chiefs here, that if they beat the Panthers, it's all right. You beat the Panthers, they suck, right? Bryce Young is the worst quarterback in the NFL. You kill and you lose to the Panthers, and it's like, how did you? The Chiefs are broken. How did they lose to the worst quarterback in the NFL? How did they lose to this team of replacement players? So regardless of what happens, the Chiefs should win this game, and then they should just move on and focus on bigger things, and don't make a big deal or take anything away from this game, win or lose.
Yeah, but they still can't overlook the fact that it's a poorly built team, and then you have another poorly built team that play the next week. You just can't overlook these next two games. Like, you just can't, because these next two games, like it'd be like I don't wish for it to happen, but it'd be wild if, say, they go on a losing streak here. That would not be what you would want to see from this team. I just don't see it happening. But there's a real possibility if you overlook them that it could happen.
Listen, the worst teams in the NFL are better than the best teams in college. Like, these guys are still professionals.
Yeah.
And we're sitting here talking shit on the Carolina Panthers like they're like Johnson County Community College. They are
close enough.
Yeah, they're still extremely talented.
Or like UMKC. They don't even have a football program.
Yeah, there we go. UMKC or Rockhurst. Maybe Mid-America Nazarene University.
There we go. That's the nail on the head.
Yeah, so, but they're still a professional football team, and the margin for error is so thin, even with the worst teams in the NFL. That being said, the Chiefs should be able to take care of what's Mid-America's mascot? The Quaker, the no fun guys.
It is a Pioneer.
Pioneer. Really, really blazing trails.
Yep,
Those
that
guys.
pioneer's blazing the trails.
When I was in high school, I worked at Blockbuster Video, and there was a guy who worked with me at Blockbuster who played football at Mid America, and he got kicked off the team and kicked out of school
For
because
what?
because they check your search history, your internet search history when you are on the football team there, and they found some adult content they did not appreciate on my buddy's computer, and they kicked him off the football team for
watching porn.
Yep, for watching a girl get raw dogged.
Yikes.
Yeah, imagine if SEC teams kick their players off the team for watching porn.
Hey, it's a sin. You shouldn't be doing it.
It is. It's a sin. It's horrible. It's one of the 7 deadly sins. Lust.
True.
So, Kramer,
people make a living off of it. I'll tell you what.
Listen, I'm not here to begrudge anybody.
Hey, go for it. Get your dollar bill.
Yeah, make your money and take care of your family. Do what you got to do to survive. Life is hard. It's too hard for me to sit here and look down my nose at anybody.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially because, let's face it, if I start talking shit and looking down my nose at people, it's coming right back at me. And everybody's got skeletons in their closet.
Yeah.
And so it's like I don't want people judging me for my decisions, and so why am I judging people for other decisions?
Yeah, people make a lot of money on supplemental income that way. I might have to dabble in that realm at some point.
Listen, if my feet weren't so goddamn ugly, I would.
People might be in for that though. People might like ugly feet.
Might be in for that, dude. Speaking of another person I used to work with, I once worked with a girl who she had this customer that she would make videos for on her phone, and she would text them to him. And he paid her like $150 a video for her to wear high heels and step on bugs and cuss them out while he was doing it. Like she would put on she'd paint her toenails, put on a high heel. This is at work. She'd go outside on her break and find a beetle, and she'd step on this beetle and be like, "You effing little beetle piece of shit. Beetle, you asshole bitch, beetle."
So he's gonna crush stuff. Okay,
and she would just crush these bugs with her these heels and mascara toes.
You know what's wild?
Paid $50 a video.
So one of my professors in college told me about those types of videos, and he said they actually do it with some people do it with actual cats and dogs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
freaking ridiculous. Yeah, no,
that's disgusting.
Yeah,
but if you're stepping on a bug, obviously all life forms are important, and yada.
Watch people come after this one.
Yeah, but listen, if you're out there stepping on la cucarachas and stepping on cockroaches with high heels,
go for it. I'll pay for that.
Somebody's gonna give you $150 to paint my toe. Give me $150 to paint my toenails, put on high heels and step on cockroaches and talk shit on them all day. I will stop doing this podcast and just make cockroach stomping videos 24/7.
Hells yeah, brother.
Yeah. That being said, this is Veach season. Hey, thank you very much, everybody, for rocking with us and chilling with us for the full hour and 13 minutes and 37 seconds. And we love you guys. Stay tuned to Foolish Club Media for everything we got coming out. Kramer, you got your show coming out later on this week.
Yep.
We got Ron Hewley's Daily Fix. We got Brian B. Shining. We got the post game show with me and Serta. We got other stuff just coming out whenever just out of the woodwork. We need 5-star reviews though to get us out there, get us seen. If you know somebody who hasn't left a 5-star review yet, get them to. We'll read it on the air. Whatever it says doesn't matter. Whatever we got to do. We hope that we've earned the privilege of your time today. And thank you very much. Love each other. Be good to each other. And we'll see you guys next time.